Hi everyone, this is Dr. Mike, host of the free iTunes podcast, Psychiatric Secrets Revealed with Dr. Mike, but that's not why I'm here today. This is another Saving Savvy episode. This time we're going to talk about two things that are sort of related. The first one is the Tracfone Family Value Plan, and the second is a cell phone. This is the Samsung T404G cell phone, which is sold through Tracfone, through Net10, and through Straight Talk. They're all kind of connected companies. So let's talk about the family value plan first. Well, we were looking for a plan for our family, not myself, because I actually use a contract phone. I need really good coverage and I need special applications and things. So I use an expensive contract phone, but my family is a very low use family. So my wife is strictly business. She'll call up and say, like, can I pick you up something through the drive-through, or I'm going to be an hour late, that sort of thing. And my kids really use the cell phones mostly for things like pickup times, like pick me up at 4:45 at the C entrance, or that sort of thing. So we're not very big phone users, and because of that, this Tracfone Family Value Plan is really ideal for us. Now, this would not be a good plan for someone who is a heavy user. Now, you might say to yourself, why not just add phones to my regular contract phone? That's for several reasons. Number one, we really don't want to have a lot of extra phones out there on contract. Even though it might be not very expensive, it still would be more expensive than this plan. And actually, we have some good friends who canceled a contract plan with a bunch of phones, and it actually cost them over $1,000 because each phone had a separate charge on it. So we really wanted to avoid that completely, if at all possible, to allow us the maximum flexibility. So what this family value plan offers is you can get a primary phone for about $10 a month, and then each additional phone is only $6 a month. Now, these phones are all different colors. That's because we've purchased some skins to put on them so we could differentiate them. That was through a separate vendor, again, very, very inexpensively. But let's take a look at what that offers. So for the primary phone, you get 50 units per month, and that renews automatically using a credit card. So you just put all this data in, and it just kind of does its thing. So 50 units equals 50 minutes of talk time, or it equals 100 minutes of web time, or it equals 150 text messages, mix or match. And the same thing can be said about the 40. The 40 will give you 40 minutes of talk time, or it will give you 120 text messages, or it will give you 80 minutes of web time. Again, mix or match that however you use it, and that's what you get. So it's a pretty inexpensive plan, but you're not getting a lot of minutes. But the great thing is, if you buy this particular phone or another phone on their website, these are triple minute for life phones, which means that you get 3 times the minutes. So that 50 minutes, or that 50 units becomes 150 units, and that 40 units becomes 120 units, and now it becomes a much more usable system. So that's what we're recommending this, or I'm recommending this particular phone too. Naturally, if you run out of minutes, you can add extra minutes that month and do that sort of thing, so you're never really stuck. But for just a little bit over $20 a month, we have 3 usable cell phones. Now, these particular cell phones are GSM phones, so they're going to run on either AT&T or T-Mobile, depending on whatever SIM card they send you. Ours happen to be T-Mobile, but that's fine. T-Mobile works great in our area, so we don't mind that at all. And actually, I think T-Mobile has a little bit better voice quality. So let's tell you a little bit about this phone and see if this phone is right for you. So it's a standard type of cell phone with standard features, but it has a few little extras. The most notable is it has a slide-out QWERTY keyboard. And you notice the display went horizontal when I did that automatically. When I flip it this way, it should go vertical again. And so you have that nice keyboard. It also has a 2 megapixel kind of standard cell phone type camera on the back, but it takes a pretty decent picture. This will also take very low resolution video, more for fun rather than anything else. It does have a speakerphone. You can have it vibrate instead of ring, or vibrate and ring, and all that sort of thing, just like most phones. Like most phones, you can pick various ringtones, you can pick various wallpapers, you can purchase additional ringtones and wallpapers, and that sort of a thing too. So it has a nice menu system. It has the standard tools that you would expect to see in a phone like this, like an alarm clock, contact list, calculators, calendar, stopwatch, timer, that sort of a thing, and they all seem to work just fine. And you also have the ability to download games through Tracfone, or wallpaper and ringtones and that sort of a thing. Now, I just tested one of these phones to see if I could download a Java app, and I went to the Opera Mini website for the Opera Mini browser, the mobile browser, and initially it said that it couldn't do that for T-Mobile, but then it recommended that I try their generic version, which I did do. I was able to download that browser. It ran just fine on the phone. So if you know how to download Java apps, my guess is it would run Java apps too. So you have that ability to run Java apps on the phone, like games and applications and that sort of thing. So let's do a little tour. So here you have your standard keyboard with a bunch of soft keys and other things up here like you'd expect. Like I told you, you have the QWERTY keyboard. If you go around the phone, here you have volume rockers. Here you have a little lanyard hole to put a little strap on it if you wish. You have a dedicated camera button, which I think is always very nice. And you have the port here. Now this port is a proprietary port for just Samsung phones. So this is not a standard USB, like a mini USB or micro USB port like you'd see on a lot of phones. You have to use the Samsung adapters. They're readily available, but I just don't understand why Samsung doesn't just use a standard like port. I just don't get that, but they don't. But for instance, if you want to use headphones through this port, you have to buy headphones that actually plug into that port, or you need to buy a little adapter for a couple of dollars that will plug in here, and then it will allow you to plug your headphones into that port. Same thing with power. Power has to be specific for this. A USB cable to your computer has to be specific to this. Again, kind of silly, not a real big deal. You can get the adapters and the different plugs fairly inexpensively, but you probably just can't run down to the local gas station and get one like you could with a lot of other phones. This does have a SD or mini SD card inside. It will hold up to a 16 gigabyte card. We have a smaller card in here because the kids really just will use it for taking pictures. On that card you can have your games, you can have your photos, you can download music or just upload it from your computer, and this will serve of course as a little MP3 player. So you have those additional functions too. Again, not extraordinarily unusual for a phone, but still really nice. You're getting a lot of value for this phone. And this does have Bluetooth, so you could connect a Bluetooth headset. You could also connect a stereo Bluetooth headset and avoid the wires from a regular set of headset to listen to music if you wanted to do that too. So a lot of functionality. We found that the call quality was very good. The phones were very easy to use. The menus were quite intuitive, and we were doing a little practicing here over the holidays, trying to text each other and do different things. Kids picked up on it really quite readily. My wife, who is a kind of anti-technology, picked on it quite readily, and so I would say it's a good value phone. But the thing that it really offers is that triple minutes for life, which really makes that family plan a lot more usable. So again, if you're looking for a simple phone with a few extra features, I definitely would recommend this phone. It's available through the Tracfone system, which is Tracfone, Net 10, and Straight Talk, with different plans for each. And if you are a low-use family that just needs a bunch of cell phones for very basic functioning, you're not texting thousands of times a month, then I would recommend the Tracfone Family Value Plan. It's for low-use people, but here again, for a little bit over 20 bucks, we have 3 cell phones. We can cancel at any time. If we lose a phone, we can easily replace it. So there you go. That's my my review of the Family Value Plan, as well as the Samsung T404G cell phone. And please, if you get some time, give my podcast a listen. It's free. It's on iTunes, and it's called Psychiatric Secrets Revealed with Dr. Mike. Other than that, have a great day.